Hello dear students, welcome to Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. Portfolio management, important aspect for all the commerce students, even for the management students. If you take even BBA or MBA finance, you need to follow this. You cannot escape this topic. By the way, what is portfolio and how it can be managed? What are the approaches of portfolio management? In detail, we'll see the introduction class. Next class onwards, we are going to work out some problems also. How we can calculate. This is mainly related to the risk and return. Let's see first what is portfolio. Portfolio means nothing but all the assets of an organization. I'm having a portfolio of around 5 crores in my business. What is this 5 crores? 5 crores are containing different assets. Securities, debentures or loans I have taken, and also gold, silver, and post office deposits are deposits in other company, like various investments. All together my worth, my total business is 5 crores. That is portfolio, even including cash also. Portfolio means nothing but all the assets of organization, various assets of organization. You can say it in short, it's a basket of all the assets of the organization. It's a basket of all the assets of the organization. That is, we say it as a portfolio. Who will manage this portfolio? Portfolio management. Who is going to manage? Two members can manage. One is self. I'm having 5 crores of property. I want to manage. I can manage. I have the skills. Then I'll manage it. Portfolio management by self means by the investor, by the company proprietor, self managed. Another one is I can appoint some experts who are expertised in managing the portfolio. So these experts, they are going to manage the portfolio, means they'll give the guidance. They'll give the guidance. Sometimes they are going to manage everything. So anything. So two parties, self or appoint somebody who can manage it, who are expertise in managing the portfolio. So in many ways you can go for the portfolio, right? Now let's see first what is portfolio. Portfolio refers to a combination of financial assets. Combination of financial assets. What are the assets? It can be anything like bonds, shares, debentures, gold, silver, insurance policies, and post office certificates or deposits at somewhere. Anything it can be. Altogether we can say it as a portfolio. Okay. Now it is a process of reviewing or assessing the entire portfolio. Portfolio management nothing but it's a process of reviewing or assessing the entire portfolio. Okay, this is mainly based on the future risk and return. I have some portfolio, I have invested in so and so organization, my gold is this much, I have cash of this much. Now how I am going to get it, that is based on the future risk and return. Risk and return chapter also we have already completed in investment management, so based on that only. Future risk, how much is the risk and what is the return. Based on this future portfolio management is going to depend. Do you know one thing? Whenever you invest, always there is a saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because that makes lots of risk. So divide it. Keep some eggs here, comes keep some eggs somewhere, like you divide it and invest your money in various aspects, various ways, so that if somewhere there is a loss, other ways are safe, right? So in that way, now whatever may be my investment, that portfolio I have to manage it properly. If I manage it properly, then only risk I can reduce, return will be more. Okay, so one important thing you have to remember, there are different types of investors. Few investors always they go for safety, leave about the return, but safety is important, my investment should be always on safe side. And these people, they expect always less risk, and as well as automatically their return also less. Would you agree? On the other side, there are some investors who takes lots of risk but expect lots of return also. When you expect return, risk is also more. So this is always, you have to remember this concept. Now let's see in depth of this portfolio management. There are two approaches. Portfolio management, two approaches are there. One is traditional portfolio analysis or traditional portfolio management, you can say. Another one is modern portfolio theory. Traditional, modern. Let's focus on the traditional portfolio analysis. Traditional portfolio analysis, non-numerical method of estimating the portfolio or estimating the return. There is no numerical calculations. This is old method, traditional method. Whereas in modern portfolio theory, we have numerical calculations. But here, no numerical calculations. This old method, this is one of the old method. This old method, that is traditional portfolio analysis, depends on the two aspects. One is determine the objectives of the portfolio. What are the main objectives of the portfolio? I have, as I said, 5 crores of portfolio. What is my object? Am I expecting more returns and more risk, or otherwise less risk but less returns? There could be another approach. I expect less risk but more return. What is your ambition? What is your object of managing that portfolio? That is very important thing. Determine the objectives of the portfolio. What are the objectives of the portfolio? First thing. Second thing is that selection of securities. How to select? Selection of securities. Say for example, my 5 crores invested in various ways. 5 crores issued or purchased securities like preference shares, equity shares, debentures. Based on that, all these places I invested 3 crores. Purchased securities. Securities means, as I said, preference shares, equity shares and debentures. There I invested 3 crores. And 1 crore kept it a deposit in somewhere, or otherwise 50 lakh deposited at somewhere. Okay, and 50 lakh I gave loan to somebody. Okay, and also now how much is left? 1 crore. 1 crore, 50 lakh invested in banks. 50 lakh invested in banks, and also 50 lakh, this is lakh, and also 50 lakh invested in post office. Like this is my portfolio, how I have divided. Now here selection of securities will talk. Sometimes if you observe 3 crores is more, can I deviate 1 crore to another place which is safety one? 5 ways I have invested 5 crores. In which way I can invest it? Shall I go for banks? Shall I go for post office? This is absolutely safe. There is no doubt at all. No risk. But return will be always less. So that you have to take out the combination. This is what we call it a selection. Or from banks, I'll go for investment. There I may get more, right? So in that way, selection of securities. These are the main two aspects of traditional method. One is determining the objectives. So what is the main objectives of the portfolio, and how do we allocate it? That is selection of securities. Main two things. Now if you see, the traditional approach is carried out in 5 steps. The traditional approach can be carried out in 5 steps, but no numerical methods. Simply you will be analyzing the securities and you will be coming to one conclusion, this we can do. But main object is always getting more return and less risk. What are the main steps of this traditional portfolio method? Analysis of constants. Analysis of constants means what are the analyses are there. So how I can manage it? If I see this, can I make some kind of changes? Just have an understanding, total understanding about this portfolio. Then after that, determination of objectives. Once if I understand this analysis, then I can think about the objectives. What are my objectives? As I said, 3 kinds of objectives. Risk is more, but also expecting the return more in that way, or as I said, risk less and return also less, or risk less but return should be more like what are the main object, what is your main ambition of that, and after that selection of portfolio. Then you select the portfolio. This was not there. Understanding about the portfolio and your objectives you understand, determine it. Then after that selection of the portfolio. How do I select? As for example, I have selected like this. This is selection of the portfolio. And once if you go for selection of portfolio, then assessment of risk and return. You have to analyze the risk and return. How much is the risk? If I make some changes, what is the return I'm going to get? Like you have to analyze the risk and return, consider this, then go for the last one, diversification. Diversification means changing from here to there to here, like some kind of changes, minimum changes or major changes, you can do it. So these are the main traditional approach, 5 steps. Am I clear about traditional? There is nothing to discuss much about the traditional method because our main objects are two only, and we go for as per these steps, but we don't calculate anything numerically here. Now whereas coming to the modern approach, that is modern portfolio theory. In short, we can say MPT, modern portfolio theory. Okay. So this is based on two concepts. One is MPT, modern portfolio theory, concerned with either maximizing the portfolio return or minimizing the risk. This is based on the two concepts. One is either maximizing the return, maximizing the portfolio return, or minimizing the risk. In any way it is a profit. One way is you are maximizing the return is more. Another way is you are minimizing the risk. When you minimize the risk also, that's an advantage. In any way this portfolio management is possible. Main thing is here MPT, this is concerning on the maximizing the portfolio return or minimizing the risk. Second thing is that it is based on the statistical techniques. Modern portfolio method, that is MPT, is based on the statistical techniques. We are going to calculate some techniques, some statistical tools we can use. What are the tools? Means generally expected returns will be calculating. How much is the expected returns? My investment is this. How much I can expect? That is expected returns. And standard deviation of the returns. Standard deviation calculations, you know, statistics row calculation. Individual series, discrete series, continuous series, we have done the same standard deviation. We are going to consider to calculate the risk, and return. So this is about statistical techniques which we are going to use it. Now let's focus on the types of portfolio management. Portfolio management, as I said, two types of people can manage. Self or given to somebody, experts. If we are giving to somebody who are expertised in managing the portfolio management, who have good knowledge, when we are giving to somebody, when we are appointing somebody, then any of this type of portfolio management you can choose it. If I am managing, this doesn't applicable. Now types. First type is active portfolio management. Active portfolio, the name itself is suggesting active, means to whom you have given this portfolio management, those experts, they are always active. They have good enough knowledge and at the same time they can manage it properly. Alert, and also whenever they want any kind of changes, they'll do it and they'll make the things in your knowledge also. So in that way they'll be very much active, always alert. So this is much advisable and also beneficial. Second one is passive portfolio management. In passive portfolio management, the experts who are managing the portfolio, these people are in the nature of passive. They have certain policies, rules and regulations, analysis already prepared. They'll follow the same one only. They are not much active, they are not much enthusiastic to make the changes, to know the new policies and what's happening in the market. All these things, they are not much concerned. So that is why we say them as passive portfolio management. And the third one is discretionary portfolio management. Discretionary portfolio management, the experts are having the full knowledge and they have given full freedom. They can manage anything, everything. So they need not to concern even the client also. Client has given, for example, A is client. A is client. He has given portfolio management to XYZ company. They are portfolio management company. They have given to A has given this job to XYZ. Now XYZ company is having full knowledge. They can make any kind of changes. They need not to bring even the knowledge of the client also. Sometimes or sometimes may not, but they have full liberty to make any kind of changes. Where to invest, when to invest, how much to invest, and any kind of changes we wanted to do, that changes also we can do this in this discretionary portfolio management. Whereas non-discretionary portfolio management, opposite to this, they don't have that much of liberty to take the decisions without getting into the knowledge of client. They'll consult the client, they'll give the suggestions. If client says yes, go ahead, then they'll go ahead. They don't have that much of freedom or liberty to take the decisions. That is why we say them as non-discretionary portfolio management. Am I clear about this types of portfolio management? Now next, phases of portfolio management. We are talking about modern portfolio. In modern portfolio method also, phases are 5 types of phases. Okay. First one is security analysis. What is the security analysis? Wherever the client is investing, having a good knowledge about the securities, how much he has invested, where he has invested, like having the detailed knowledge. So here you can say there are 3 approaches for security analysis. 3 approaches. One is fundamental approach, basic knowledge about that securities, and also technical approach. Technically how we can proceed it. Fundamental basic knowledge I am having. Technically also you need to have good command. In the same way, efficient market hypothesis. As per the market strategy, what should be the efficient way? So 3 approaches keeping in mind, and we'll be going for the security analysis. Okay, this is the first step. Then second phase or second step is portfolio analysis. Here what we have done some basic research work. Now here portfolio analysis, we have to analyze it, where we have to invest, how much we invest, so what should be the risk. All these things we'll be discussing in the portfolio analysis. Here main important concept is computing risk. You are computing the risk. Risk is how much, what is the percentage of risk and return. Computing the risk and return of the given set of securities. Few securities are given. How much is the risk and how much is the return? Risk and return will be calculating at this level, portfolio analysis. Then after that, third stage or third phase comes to portfolio selection. Here we have done somewhat calculations, risk and return. Now we can go for the selection. For selection, always remember higher return. Our aspect or ambition is higher return and efficient portfolio. Efficient portfolio we want, at the same time we are expecting higher return. These 2 concepts considering or keeping in mind, and will be going for the portfolio selection. Once the selection is over, then portfolio revision. Selection is over. Are you going to implement it? No. So you are going to revise it. What do you do here? Revise with a change in the maximum or portfolio of the securities. Change any kind of changes. Sorry, not maximum, this is mix. Revision, how do you do revision? Revise with a change in the mix or portfolio of securities. Change, you can make some kind of changes. I have selected something here where I consider high return and efficient portfolio I have considered. Now here in revision we are making some changes or mixing changes here. 2 crores I'll make it 1 crore, and here I'll make it 1 crore, like this I wanted to divide it. That is what we say it as a change and mixing in the portfolio analysis securities. Once if you do that, then after that last stage comes to portfolio evaluation. Everything considered. In the last stage what we do, we are going to evaluate. When we evaluate, we are going to consider the main two factors, risk and return. How much is the risk, how much is the return? Then after that only, then I wanted to go for the finalization of the portfolio. Okay, like 5 phases, 5 stages we have to consider before going to the portfolio management. Now to understand this risk and return, a small concept you can understand it here. That is, we say it as rationale of portfolio diversification. Portfolio we wanted to diversify. Diversify means from one place to another place we wanted to invest it. Here I am increasing and there I am decreasing. In that way, diversification. So what we can do here? Two concepts you have to remember. Avoid uncertainties. Always remember, uncertainties, no investor is expecting, no client is expecting any kind of uncertainties. So try to avoid the uncertainties and have a balance of average. Balance of average means your return should be balanced and high return securities. High return security. These two considering in mind, these two we are keeping in our concept, then we'll be going for that you can understand through a small diagram, or you can say it as a graph. So here in the graph, x axis we are taking portfolio size, portfolio size in the x axis, and y axis variability of risk. How much is the portfolio size, what is the risk? Here two concepts you have to understand. One is unsystematic risk and systematic risk. To some level when you invest, that risk is systematic. Beyond that if you go, that is unsystematic. That risk will increase a lot. This is what. See here, portfolio size is same like this. So variability of risk, risk up to certain level, this level risk is systematic risk. If you increase that, so we are going to the next level. So this is unsystematic risk. Considering this in mind, and we'll be selecting the portfolio management. Am I clear about the concept of portfolio management, what it is? Okay. So next class we are going to work out few problems, practical problems, very important. And just if you understand the concept, it is very easy, need not to by heart. Statistics we have idea. When we have idea, then based on the statistics we'll have some calculations. Stay connected, don't forget to share these videos and practice well. So see you in the next video. Good luck. Take the screenshot.